Welcome to the Husker Fans in Montana podcast solo episode. Why solo? Because it's summertime in Montana. It's hard to get the boys together. Last season, I utilized EA Sports College Football 2025 to break down Nebraska and all of their opponents, each game, position by position. Some of those got quite a few views, so I thought I would try it this year with EA Sports, the updated 2026, and do it for the Cincinnati game and then see if people seem to enjoy that. It's kind of a fun way to get an idea of how the EA Sports analysts look at Nebraska versus their opponent, at least on a position-by-position basis. So let's jump in. At the quarterback position, Raiola is sitting at an overall 87. You can see there some of the other ratings with Cincinnati quarterback and an overall of 83. At the halfback position, you see Emmett Johnson at an overall 87. And their halfback also at an 87. So they got a pretty good halfback, at least according to EA Sports. The wide receiver position, there you can see how they stack up. Nebraska comes in with Key at an 88 and Hunter at an 84, followed by Barney at an 83 overall ratings. And you can see how they stack up with their highest overall wide receiver sitting at an 82. At the tight end position, Nebraska sits with an overall of 79 with Lyndon Meyer and 78 with Harburg. And their tight end, their highest is at an 87. So they have a pretty good tight end, again, at least in the eyes of the EA Sports analysts. So that's a position we're going to have to watch. At the left tackle position, you can see the ratings there pretty close with a 78 for a 79 overall for Nebraska with their starter and a 78 overall for Cincinnati. At the left guard position, you have Nebraska sitting at an 81. A little advantage over there, left guard at a 77. At the center position, Nebraska also sits at an 81, and their center sitting at an 83. At the right guard position, Nebraska starter has an overall of 83, and theirs at an overall of 82. At the right tackle position, Nebraska comes in with an overall of 84, and theirs with an overall of 74. So we definitely have the advantage there in the eyes of the EA Sports analyst. At the left edge, Nebraska comes in with an overall of 81, and they're sitting with an overall of 76. Defensive tackles, you can see they have a really good one at 92. It's well thought of. Ours, Judy's tops at an 80. So they definitely take the advantage in the tackle position. Right edge, Nebraska comes in their top one with a 77. And for Cincinnati, their top on the right edge is a 76. Moving to the linebackers, you can see how they stack up at the Sam position. Nebraska with a high overall of 82, and theirs at an 88. At the Mike position, you've got an overall of 80 for Nebraska and a 75 for Cincinnati. At the Will, you have an 87 for Nebraska and an overall 72 for Cincinnati. The cornerback position, you have an overall of 88 for Nebraska's starter, and you have an 87 for theirs. The free safety position, you have an overall of 77 in Buford for Nebraska. You seem listed a little lower at an overall of 84, so not sure if that's a kind of a glitch in the game, but their starter is listed at an 82. At the strong safety position, you have Nebraska with an overall of 83, their starter, and for Cincinnati, their overall is an 84 for their starter. So if you look at the Cincinnati's top players and Nebraska's top players, you'll see the EA Sports really like our cornerback, Wright at an 88, our wide receiver Key at an 88, our Will at an 87, our halfback at an 87, our QB at an 87, and then our right tackle an 84, free safety an 84. You can kind of see the list of the top players there for Nebraska. Then you can compare that to the top players for Cincinnati. And so you can kind of compare the strengths. And we have a very good halfback. They have a very good halfback. Their tight end is very good. And you can just get an idea of how they stack up against Nebraska. And I think this is kind of a fun way to look at it. Obviously, the coaches will be comparing their offensive strengths against our defensive strengths and vice versa, where this is a position-by-position analysis. But I think what you can take away from this, it's kind of just for fun, but what you can take away from this is Cincinnati is not going to be a gimme. They're not going to be a pushover. Cincinnati is a very good football team, but Nebraska certainly has the talent to match up and to win that game. So hopefully we're going to have a victory for game 1 in our upcoming season. And again, if you want to see this comparison for some other of Nebraska's opponents, you can comment, you can watch the video, you can like the video, and then if you can, you can go on the page and follow the page. But if the video is watched, I'll take the time to do some of the other comparisons. But it does take quite a bit of time to go in and get all the screen cuts. So if you enjoy it, leave a comment or do a like, and I'll get some more out there. Thanks for watching, and go Big Red.